First contact intention. The vast expanse of space had always beckoned humanity, its infinite darkness peppered with the promise of distant stars. But on that fateful day in 2157, as the research vessel Curiosity drifted through the Kuiper Belt, no one aboard could have predicted the monumental shift about to rock human civilization to its core. Dr. Elena Reyes, the ship's lead xenobiologist, peered intently at her console, brow furrowed in concentration. For weeks, they'd been tracking an anomalous energy signature, unlike anything ever recorded. As the Curiosity edged closer to the source, Elena's heart raced with a mixture of excitement and trepidation. "Captain Harris," she called out, her voice taut with anticipation. "I think you need to see this." Captain Michael Harris, a veteran of countless deep space missions, strode across the bridge. His weathered face betrayed a flicker of concern as he studied Elena's readouts. "What are we looking at, Doctor?" Before Elena could respond, the ship's sensors blared to life. A massive object had just dropped out of faster-than-light travel, mere kilometers from their position. The crew watched in awe as a colossal vessel, easily 100 times the size of the Curiosity, shimmered into view. Its sleek, obsidian hull seemed to absorb the very starlight around it. Intricate patterns of bioluminescent energy pulsed along its surface, hinting at technology far beyond human comprehension. There was no doubt. They were face to face with an alien spacecraft. "My God," Harris whispered, his usual stoic demeanor cracking. "Open a channel. All frequencies." For several tense minutes, the Curiosity broadcast greetings in every known human language. The alien ship remained ominously silent, its presence overwhelming in the vast emptiness of space. Suddenly, a beam of azure energy lanced out from the alien vessel, enveloping the Curiosity. Panic erupted on the bridge as systems flickered and died, but as quickly as it began, the energy receded, leaving the human ship unharmed. A holographic projection materialized on the bridge, resolving into a towering insectoid figure. Its exoskeleton gleamed like polished onyx, compound eyes swirling with iridescent colors. When it spoke, the words reverberated directly in the minds of the crew. "Humans," the alien intoned, its mental voice tinged with a mixture of curiosity and disdain. "We are the Zarketh. Your primitive vessel has intruded upon our territory. Explain yourselves." Captain Harris stepped forward, drawing upon years of diplomatic training. "We come in peace," he began, his voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "We are explorers, seeking to expand our understanding of the universe. We had no knowledge this region was claimed." The Zarketh representative's antennae twitched, a gesture that might have indicated amusement or contempt. "Your ignorance is unsurprising, given your species' infancy. The galaxy is vast and ancient, teeming with civilizations you cannot begin to comprehend. Your kind are but children, stumbling in the dark." Elena stepped forward, unable to contain her scientific curiosity. "We're eager to learn," she said, her voice filled with genuine enthusiasm. "There's so much we could share, so much we could discover together." The alien's compound eyes fixed upon her, and Elena felt the weight of millennia of advanced evolution in that gaze. "Share?" The Zarketh questioned, the concept seeming almost foreign. "Your species has nothing to offer beings such as ourselves. Your technology is quaint, your understanding of the cosmos laughably limited." Captain Harris bristled at the dismissive tone. "We may be younger," he countered, "but humanity has achieved much in a short time. We've overcome countless obstacles, united our planet, and taken our first steps into the stars. We're quick learners and determined explorers." The Zarketh's mental voice took on a harder edge. "Your determination is noted, human, but it changes nothing. This sector of space falls under Zarketh protection. You will return to your home system immediately. Any further incursions will be met with force." With that, the holographic projection vanished, leaving the crew of the Curiosity in stunned silence. The enormous alien ship shimmered once more before disappearing into faster-than-light travel, the energy wake buffeting the smaller human vessel. As systems slowly came back online, Captain Harris turned to his crew, his face grim but resolute. "Plot a course back to Earth," he ordered. "We need to report this encounter immediately." The journey back to Earth was tense, filled with heated debates and wild speculation. By the time the Curiosity docked at the orbital station above humanity's homeworld, news of the alien encounter had spread like wildfire. Emergency sessions of the United Earth Government convened, military leaders huddled in war rooms, and the public oscillated between excitement and terror. Humanity had dreamed of first contact for centuries, but the reality was far from the harmonious meeting of minds many had envisioned. As the days passed, more reports flooded in. Other human ships venturing beyond the solar system encountered Zarketh vessels, each interaction reinforcing the aliens' disdain for humanity. They viewed Earth's expanding presence in space as an annoyance at best, a potential threat at worst. In a public address that would be remembered for generations, United Earth President Adama Okoro laid out the situation in stark terms. "My fellow citizens of Earth," she began, her voice steady but tinged with concern, "we stand at a crossroads. The universe we have longed to explore is not empty, nor is it welcoming. The Zarketh view us as children, unworthy of our place among the stars. But we know better." She paused, her gaze sweeping across the billions watching around the world and on colonies throughout the solar system. "Humanity has faced challenges before. We've overcome ice ages, plagues, and our own destructive tendencies. We've united our world and reached for the stars. Now we face our greatest test yet, but I have faith in human ingenuity, in our relentless spirit of innovation and exploration." President Okoro's words ignited a spark in laboratories, universities, and shipyards across Earth and its colonies. If humanity was to secure its place in the galaxy, it would need to leap forward technologically at an unprecedented pace. The next few years would determine whether mankind would be confined to its cosmic backyard or take its rightful place among the stars. As the speech concluded, Dr. Elena Rice sat in her lab aboard the orbital station, poring over the data collected during the Curiosity's encounter. She couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the Zarketh than their dismissive exterior suggested. If humanity was to survive and thrive in this newly revealed galactic community, they would need to understand their alien neighbors better. With renewed determination, Elena began formulating plans for a covert research mission. The Zarketh had made it clear that human ships were unwelcome in their territory, but perhaps a smaller, stealthier approach could yield the knowledge humanity desperately needed. As humanity grappled with its new reality, the stars seemed both closer and more distant than ever before. The path forward was uncertain, fraught with danger and the potential for conflict. But in labs, factories, and starship bridges around the solar system, a new resolve was taking hold. Humanity would not be relegated to the sidelines of galactic history. One way or another, they would prove their worth to the cosmos. Human ingenuity unveiled. 5 years had passed since humanity's fateful encounter with the Zarketh, years marked by feverish innovation and a unity of purpose unprecedented in human history. The dismissive words of the alien visitors had lit a fire under every scientist, engineer, and visionary on Earth and its colonies. In a secret facility buried deep beneath the Martian surface, Dr. Elena Rice stood before a gathered assembly of Earth's most brilliant minds. The cavernous chamber hummed with anticipation as holographic displays flickered to life, revealing schematics that would have been unthinkable just a few short years ago. "Ladies and gentlemen," Elena began, her voice carrying the weight of years of relentless work, "what you're about to see represents the culmination of Project Phoenix. Thanks to your tireless efforts, we're about to change the balance of power in our little corner of the galaxy." With a gesture, she brought up the image of a sleek spacecraft unlike anything in Earth's current fleet. Its hull shimmered with a strange, almost organic quality, reminiscent of the Zarketh vessel they'd encountered years ago. "The HS Defiant," Elena announced proudly. "Our answer to Zarketh's superiority. This ship incorporates everything we've learned from studying the alien energy signatures and the scraps of technology we've managed to salvage from their brief incursions into our space. Admiral Chen Wei, the grizzled veteran who had overseen the military aspect of Project Phoenix, stepped forward. "The Defiant isn't just a match for Zarketh tech," he added, his voice gruff but tinged with excitement. "In many ways, it surpasses it. We've taken their concepts and improved upon them, adding our own uniquely human innovations." As the assembled scientists and military personnel murmured in amazement, Alina delved into the specifics. The Defiant's hull was composed of a revolutionary metamaterial that could adapt its properties on the fly, providing unparalleled stealth capabilities. Its propulsion system utilized principles of quantum entanglement, allowing for faster-than-light travel without the telltale energy signatures of traditional warp drives. But the ship's true marvel lay in its core, a miniaturized fusion reactor that harnessed the power of artificial microsingularities. This breakthrough in energy generation provided the Defiant with nearly limitless power, far beyond anything humanity had previously achieved. "We've also made significant strides in offensive and defensive capabilities," Admiral Chen continued. "The Defiant is equipped with phased plasma weaponry and a shield system that can withstand impacts that would vaporize our previous generation of ships." As impressive as the Defiant was, it represented only the tip of the iceberg. Alina's team had developed an entire ecosystem of advanced technologies, from handheld energy weapons to next-generation AI systems that could outthink even the most advanced Zarketh computers. "But our greatest achievement," Alina said, her voice softening with a mix of pride and trepidation, "is this." She brought up a final hologram, showing what appeared to be a simple neural implant. "The Nexus, a brain-computer interface that allows for direct mental control of our new technologies. With this, a human operator can interface with the Defiant systems as if the ship were an extension of their own body." The room fell silent as the implications sank in. They had done it. In just 5 years, humanity had leapfrogged centuries of technological development, driven by the existential threat posed by an indifferent alien power. President Okoro, who had been silently observing the presentation, finally spoke. "Dr. Rice, Admiral Chen, you and your teams have performed miracles. But now we face a crucial decision. Do we reveal our advancements to the Zarketh, risking their wrath but asserting our place in the galactic community, or do we buy our time, building our strength in secret?" It was a question that had been debated endlessly in the halls of power. The hawkish elements pushed for an immediate show of force, arguing that humanity needed to claim its territory before it was too late. Others counseled caution, fearing that a premature revelation could lead to devastating conflict. Alina exchanged a glance with Admiral Chen before responding. "Madam President, I believe we need a middle path. We should begin a gradual rollout of our new technologies, starting with defensive systems for our outer colonies. This will provide a buffer against potential Zarketh aggression, while allowing us to refine our more advanced capabilities." Admiral Chen nodded in agreement. "We can also initiate a series of accidental encounters with Zarketh patrols, allowing them glimpses of our progress without revealing the full extent of our capabilities. This might encourage them to reassess their dismissive attitude towards humanity." President Okoro considered their words carefully. The weight of humanity's future rested heavily on her shoulders. After a long moment, she nodded. "Very well. We'll proceed with caution, but we will proceed. Humanity will no longer cower in the shadow of alien disdain." As the meeting adjourned, Alina found herself alone with Admiral Chen. The grizzled military man regarded her with a mix of respect and concern. "You realize," he said quietly, "that once we start down this path, there's no turning back. The Zarketh won't take kindly to being technologically outmaneuvered by a species they considered primitive." Alina nodded, her expression grim but determined. "I know, but we can't hide forever. Humanity deserves its place among the stars. Admiral, we've earned it." Over the next few months, A carefully choreographed dance began. Human ships, subtly enhanced with some of the new technologies, ventured further into space. Occasionally, they would encounter Zarketh vessels, exchanging tense communications. Each time, the aliens seemed increasingly perplexed by the rapid advancements they observed. On a distant human colony world, a Zarketh probe attempted to penetrate the atmosphere, only to be effortlessly deflected by a planetary shield that shouldn't have been possible with human technology. The incident was quietly noted in alien intelligence reports, prompting concerned discussions in far-off Zarketh councils. Meanwhile, deep in the void between stars, the HSS Defiant embarked on its shakedown cruise. Captain Zara Okonkwo, chosen for her exceptional piloting skills and strategic mind, marveled at the ship's capabilities. As she interfaced with the vessel through her Nexus implant, Zara felt a rush of exhilaration. The Defiant responded to her thoughts with breathtaking speed and precision, its advanced systems amplifying her natural talents. "All systems nominal, Captain," reported Lieutenant Aiden Chen, Admiral Chen's son, and the ship's tactical officer. "We're ready to test the long-range sensors." Zara nodded, sending a mental command through the Nexus. The Defiant's sensor array sprang to life, reaching out across vast distances with unprecedented clarity. Suddenly, alarms blared across the bridge. "Captain," Aiden called out, his voice tense. "We're picking up a massive energy signature. It's like nothing we've ever seen before." Zara's mind raced as she processed the incoming data through her neural link. The energy pattern was alien, far more advanced than even the Zarketh ships they'd encountered, and it was heading straight for Earth. "Send an encrypted burst transmission to command," Zara ordered, her voice steady despite the gravity of the situation. "Let them know we're investigating an unknown phenomenon, and prepare for emergency warp. Whatever this is, we need to intercept it before it reaches populated space." As the Defiant surged forward, pushing its revolutionary engines to their limits, Zara couldn't shake the feeling that humanity was about to face a challenge far greater than they had anticipated. The Zarketh had been just the beginning. The true test of human ingenuity and determination lay ahead, hurtling towards them from the depths of space. Part 3. Alien Retaliation and Human Resilience. The HSS Defiant streaked through the void, its advanced warp drive leaving barely a ripple in the fabric of spacetime. Captain Zara Okonkwo's mind raced in tandem with the ship's AI, processing vast amounts of data through her Nexus implant. The unknown energy signature grew stronger with each passing moment, its alienness sending chills down her spine. "ETA to intercept," Zara queried, her voice calm despite the tension thrumming through the bridge. Lieutenant Aiden Chen's fingers danced across his console. 3 minutes, Captain. Whatever it is, it's big, really big." As they dropped out of warp, the crew of the Defiant collectively gasped. Before them loomed a structure that defied comprehension. A massive ring world, easily the size of Earth's orbit, pulsing with energy that made the ship's sensors scream in protest. "My God," whispered Dr. Elena Reyes, who had insisted on joining this maiden voyage. "It's a Dyson ring, a partial Dyson sphere. The energy requirements to build something like this, it's beyond anything we've ever conceived." Before anyone could respond, a beam of coruscating energy lanced out from the ring, enveloping the Defiant. Alarms blared as systems flickered, but the ship's advanced shielding held. Barely. A booming voice filled their minds, reminiscent of their first encounter with the Zarketh, but infinitely more vast and alien. "Inti Rudiers. You trespass into a domain of the HFY. Identify yourselves or be unannoyed." Captain Okonkwo straightened in her chair, drawing upon every ounce of diplomatic training. "I am Captain Zara Okonkwo of the Human. Alien Retaliation and Human Resilience." Captain Okonkwo straightened in her chair, drawing upon every ounce of diplomatic training. "I am Captain Zara Okonkwo of the Human Starship Defiant. We come in peace and seek to understand." Who are the architects? There was a pause that seemed to stretch for eternity. When the voice responded, it carried a note of surprise. Humans, your presence here is unexpected. The ZARKETH, report your species as primitive, unworthy of NOTIC. Dr. Ray stepped forward, her scientific curiosity overriding her fear. We've made significant advancements. Please, we wish to learn, to understand your purpose here. Another pause, longer this time. The energy field surrounding the Defiant shifted, becoming less oppressive. Very well, humans. UAVPYQUED, Ador Interiorist. UYLB Bureauj. AABOARD for evaluation. Before anyone could protest, the Defiant was enveloped in a shimmering field of energy. The stars outside the viewports blurred, and suddenly they found themselves within a vast docking bay, the scale of which boggled the mind. As an away team prepared to disembark, led by Captain Okonkwo and Dr. Rice, tension filled the air. They were about to face beings of unimaginable power and technological superiority. The fate of humanity might well rest on this encounter. The architects, as it turned out, defied easy description. They appeared as shifting forms of pure energy, vaguely humanoid but constantly changing. Their voices, when not booming through minds, were a harmonic chorus that seemed to resonate with the very fabric of reality. "We are the shapers of galaxies," one of the architects explained, its form rippling with colors beyond human perception. "We seed worlds with life, guide the evolution of species, and maintain the balance of the cosmos." Dr. Rice, her mind reeling from the implications, managed to ask, "And the Zarketh? What is their role in this?" The architect's form pulsed with what might have been amusement. "The Zarketh are but caretakers, tasked with overseeing younger races. They have grown, complacent in their role. Your rapid advancement has taken them by surprise." As the humans absorbed this information, alarms suddenly blared throughout the structure. The architects' forms flickered with agitation. In years, their voices boomed in unison. "The ZARKETH approach with hostile intent." On the Defiance Bridge, Lieutenant Chen's voice crackled over the comms. "Captain, we've got multiple Zarketh warships dropping out of FTL. They're charging weapons." Captain Okonkwo's mind raced. The Zarketh, seeing humanity in direct contact with their masters, must have panicked. Can the architects not simply order them to stand down? The lead architect's form dimmed slightly. "We do not intervene directly in such matters. The Zarketh must learn to coexist with emerging species on their own. This is a test for both your peoples." With that, the energy beings vanished, leaving the humans to face the oncoming Zarketh fleet alone. Captain Okonkwo's jaw set with determination as she raced back to the Defiant with her team. "All hands, battle stations. Let's show these overlords what humanity is truly capable of." The ensuing battle was a testament to human ingenuity and the leap in technology they'd achieved. The Defiant, despite being vastly outnumbered, danced between Zarketh energy beams, its adaptive hull absorbing and redirecting attacks. Captain Okonkwo, linked directly to the ship's systems through her Nexus implant, anticipated enemy maneuvers with preternatural skill. Dr. Rice, working furiously at a science station, had an epiphany. "Captain, the Dyson ring. We can use its energy field to our advantage." Understanding flowed through the Nexus link. With a thought, Zera maneuvered the Defiant into a complex series of loops around the massive structure. The Zarketh ships, their tactics based on millennia of unchallenged superiority, struggled to adapt to the humans' unconventional approach. One by one, the alien vessels fell to the Defiant's superior tactics and technology. Those that weren't destroyed retreated, their commanders shaken by the unexpected defeat. As the last Zarketh ship winked out of sensor range, A stunned silence fell over the Defiance Bridge. They had done it. Humanity had stood toe-to-toe with a technologically superior foe and emerged victorious. The architects materialized once more, their energy forms pulsing with what seemed like approval. You have proven yourselves worthy, humans. The balance of power in this sector of the galaxy has shifted. What you do with this opportunity is now up to you. As the Defiant began its journey home, the weight of their accomplishments settled over the crew. They had not only defended themselves, but had demonstrated humanity's potential on a cosmic stage. The message to Earth was clear. The age of cowering in the galactic shadows was over. Humanity was ready to claim its place among the stars. But with this triumph came new responsibilities and challenges. How would Earth handle its newfound status? Would they become benevolent guides to other emerging species, or would they fall into the same traps of complacency and arrogance that had befallen the Zarketh? As Captain Okonkwo gazed out at the star-studded void, she knew that the true test of humanity's character was just beginning. The universe had opened up before them, vast and full of wonders. It was up to them to prove they were worthy of the journey ahead. Part 4. Unlikely Alliances and Turning the Tide. The return of the Defiant to Earth was met with a mixture of jubilation and trepidation. News of the encounter with the architects and the decisive victory over the Zarketh spread like wildfire, igniting debates in every corner of human space. Some saw it as a triumph of human perseverance and ingenuity, while others feared the attention it might bring from other, potentially hostile, alien civilizations. In the months that followed, humanity found itself thrust onto the galactic stage in ways they could never have anticipated. The defeat of the Zarketh had sent shockwaves through the established order of spacefaring species. Younger races, long suppressed by Zarketh dominance, began to look to Earth as a potential ally and protector. It was in this charged atmosphere that an unlikely visitor arrived at the Sol system's edge. A lone Zarketh ship, its energy signature deliberately weakened to appear non-threatening, requested permission to approach Earth. Aboard was none other than Zexlor, a high-ranking Zarketh diplomat who had broken ranks with his species' leadership. In a historic meeting held aboard the International Space Station, now expanded into a sprawling orbital city, Zexlor faced a panel of Earth's leaders, including President Okoro and Admiral Chen. The alien's typically imposing form seemed diminished, his compound eyes dimmed with what might have been humility. "Esteemed humans," Zexlor began, his mental voice carrying a note of desperation. "I come before you not as a conqueror or overseer, but as a supplicant. The defeat you dealt our fleet has thrown our society into chaos. For millennia, we believed ourselves to be the pinnacle of evolution, chosen by the architects to guide lesser species. Your victory has shattered that illusion." President Okoro leaned forward, her gaze sharp. "And what exactly are you proposing, Zexlor? Your people have hardly been friendly to humanity in the past." The Zarketh diplomat's antennae drooped in a gesture of submission. "I propose an alliance, a sharing of knowledge and technology. Many among my kind now recognize the folly of our past actions. We have much to learn from your adaptability, your innovative spirit. In return, we can offer insights into the wider galaxy, introductions to species you've yet to encounter." Admiral Chen's eyes narrowed with suspicion. "And why should we trust you? This could easily be a ploy to gather intelligence on our capabilities." Zexlor's form shimmered, a Zarketh expression of intense emotion. "Because the alternative is war. A war that will devastate both our peoples and leave us vulnerable to threats you cannot yet imagine. The galaxy is vast and filled with dangers. United, we stand a chance. Divided, we fall." As the human leaders debated the merits of Zexlor's proposal, Dr. Elena Reyes, who had been quietly observing, stepped forward. "If I may," she interjected, "this is precisely the kind of opportunity the architects spoke of. They challenged us to prove ourselves worthy of our new status in the galaxy. Perhaps this is the first test. Can we overcome past grievances and forge a new path forward?" Her words struck a chord. After hours of intense negotiation, a tentative agreement was reached. The Zarketh, under Zexalor's reformist faction, would gradually withdraw from their role as galactic overseers. In exchange, humanity would share some of its technological advancements and act as intermediaries with the species the Zarketh had once subjugated. The months that followed were a whirlwind of diplomatic activity and cultural exchange. Human scientists worked alongside Zarketh researchers, each learning from the other's unique perspective. The blending of their technologies led to breakthroughs that neither species could have achieved alone. But not everyone was pleased with this new alliance. Hardline factions among both humans and Zarketh viewed the cooperation with suspicion and hostility. Terrorist attacks and sabotage attempts threatened to derail a fragile peace. It was during one such crisis that the true strength of the human-Zarketh alliance was put to the test. A radical human group, calling themselves the Purity Front, managed to seize control of a powerful antimatter production facility on Mars. Their demand was simple: end all cooperation with alien species or watch as they destabilize the facility, potentially destroying half the planet. As tension mounted and military options were debated, an unlikely pair stepped forward with a daring plan. Captain Zara Okonkwo, her reputation only having grown since the Defiant's historic mission, partnered with Zexalor himself to lead a joint human-Zarketh team in a high-stakes infiltration mission. The operation was a delicate dance of human adaptability and Zarketh technical expertise. Zara's Nexus implant allowed her to interface with both human and alien systems, coordinating the team's movements with unprecedented precision. Zexalor's deep knowledge of energy manipulation proved crucial in neutralizing the facility's defenses without triggering a catastrophic reaction. As the team fought their way through waves of fanatic defenders, Zara and Zexalor found themselves working in perfect synchronization. Human and Zarketh, once bitter enemies, now moved as one, covering each other's weaknesses and amplifying their strengths. In the facility's core, with seconds to spare before the antimatter containment failed, Zara made a split-second decision. Using the Nexus, she linked her mind directly with the facility's systems, using her own neural patterns to stabilize the volatile reaction. The strain was enormous, threatening to overwhelm her, but then she felt another presence joining her in the digital realm. Zexalor, lending his alien mind to share the burden. Together, human and Zarketh minds intertwined, they brought the facility back from the brink of destruction. As the crisis passed and the terrorists were apprehended, Zara and Zexalor emerged as living symbols of what their peoples could achieve together. The averted catastrophe and the heroic joint action that prevented it became a turning point in human-Zarketh relations. Public opinion, once skeptical of the alliance, began to shift. The sight of Captain Okonkwo and diplomat Zexalor standing side by side at the victory celebration, both bearing the scars of their shared ordeal, spoke louder than any treaty or political speech. As news of the successful cooperation spread across the galaxy, other species took notice. The human-Zarketh alliance, born from conflict but forged in shared adversity, began to attract other races seeking to break free from old power structures and forge a new galactic order. Humanity, in the span of a few short years, had gone from a species dismissed as primitive to a central player in a rapidly changing cosmic landscape. The challenges ahead were immense, but for the first time, they would face them not alone, but hand in hand, or hand in claw, with allies from across the stars. As Captain Okonkwo gazed out at the Martian sunset, Zexalor's crystalline form shimmering beside her, she allowed herself a moment of hope. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders, but also dangers beyond imagination. Yet standing here, human and Zarketh united in common purpose, she felt ready to face whatever the cosmos might throw their way. The stars beckoned, and this time, humanity would answer the call not as conquerors or supplicants, but as equals among the celestial tapestry of sentient life. A new era of galactic cooperation. 5 years had passed since the formation of the Humans-Arcath Alliance, and the face of the galaxy had changed dramatically. The Sol system, once a backwater in galactic politics, had become a hub of interstellar diplomacy and technological innovation. The orbital rings of Earth and Mars, teamed with ships from 100 different species, their alien architectures a testament to the diversity of life in the universe. At the heart of this transformation stood the Concordance, a massive space station constructed in the orbit of Jupiter, jointly designed by human, Zarketh, and a dozen other allied species. Its gleaming spires and expansive docks served as neutral ground for galactic negotiations and scientific collaboration. Dr. Elena Reyes, now serving as Earth's chief xenobiologist and diplomat, stood in the Concordance's central chamber, marveling at how far they'd come. Beside her, Captain Zara Okonkwo, recently promoted to admiral, surveyed the assembled alien delegates with a mixture of pride and caution. "I never thought I'd see the day," Elena murmured, watching as a group of chitinous, hive-mind Vexuri engaged in animated discussion with ethereal energy beings from the Andromeda galaxy. "We're really doing it, forging a new galactic community." Zara nodded, her Nexus implant humming as it translated a dozen alien languages simultaneously. "It hasn't been easy," she replied, thinking of the countless diplomatic crises and near-miss armed conflicts they'd navigated. "But I think we're finally starting to find our balance." Their contemplation was interrupted by the arrival of Zexlor, his crystalline form shimmering with excitement. "My friends," the Zarketh diplomat's mental voice rang out, "I bring news from the fringes of known space. The architects have been sighted again." Elena and Zara exchanged glances, a mixture of anticipation and trepidation passing between them. The architects, those enigmatic shapers of galaxies, had been silent since humanity's first encounter years ago. Their reappearance could herald great opportunities or grave dangers. "What do we know?" Zara asked, her military instincts kicking in. Zexlor's antennae twitched in a gesture of uncertainty. "Little, I'm afraid, but they seem to be constructing something vast, far larger than the Dyson ring we encountered before. They've requested representatives from all spacefaring races to bear witness." The news spread quickly through the Concordance, causing a flurry of activity as species scrambled to prepare their delegations. It was decided that the Humans-Arcath Alliance would lead the expedition, with the Defiant, now upgraded with a blend of technologies from a dozen worlds, serving as the flagship. As they prepared for departure, Elena couldn't help but reflect on the monumental journey that had brought them to this point. From humanity's first tentative steps into space to becoming a linchpin in a new galactic order, it had been a path fraught with peril and illuminated by triumph. The journey to the architect's new construction took weeks, even with the most advanced FTL drives the allied species could muster. As they approached their destination, the crew of the Defiant and their alien counterparts fell silent in awe. Before them stretched a lattice of impossible scale, a framework that seemed to encompass an entire sector of space. Within its vast expanse, they could see the beginnings of artificial planets, each one a potential cradle for new forms of life. The architects appeared, their energy forms more vibrant and complex than ever before. Their collected voice resonated through the minds of all present. "Behold, Children of the cosmos, you stand witness to the birth of a new galaxy." As the assembled representatives watched in stunned silence, the architects continued. "Your alliance, VORN of QNFLICT, with your 2RED by cooperation, hate is Peruvian, hate DIVRC species, KNCOEXIST.